Hey guys, Pleb Review's back after about 2 or 3 weeks, I think. Just got back from Download Festival, Wednesday to Sunday, kicked ass. It was really good. Really good time actually. I've got a bit of a tan, you probably can't see it here. I've got a really, yeah, I can see that there. Proper horrible tan line there where my fringe has been. But yeah, the weekend itself was fantastic. You know, I caught Slipknot, Iron Maiden, Rammstein. 3 headliners, all were fantastic. Iron Maiden weren't as good as I thought they were going to be. Bruce sounded very tired. The guitar work and everything was still amazing. But Bruce, he sounds like, I don't know, maybe because of the tour they've been doing and this is quite a bit of a later date. Maybe the tiredness is kicking in. You know, he is in his 60s after all, but, you know, Slipknot, not a big fan of them anymore really. I don't listen to them, but it was still nice to catch them and they really did. You know, they sound fantastic. And Rammstein, wow, what a way to close the festival. I've never seen so much fire in my life. It was amazing. Probably one of the best gigs I've ever been to. But yeah, I'm back to reviewing now. I've been, even before Download, I've been busy with other things like work and you know, meeting deadlines for things and whatnot. But now I've got a chance to sit down and talk about you know, a few albums that I'm going to review, and this review is going to be, it's not relatively that new, it's kind of new, it's been around for a while, but I've never really given my thoughts on it properly, and I want to do that today. And that's for Bring the Horizon's album, Sempiternal. Now, Bring the Horizon, I think they've come a very long way, sorry, I think they've come a very long way. From their debut LP, Count Your Blessings, which was a very deathcore orientated record, very run-of-the-mill, nothing jumping out at you, you know, in the sense that this is unique deathcore. It was deathcore that you could hear anywhere from, you know, the likes of your Suicide Silence, my Annotations of an Autopsy. It's just, you know, it was run-of-the-mill, it wasn't too good. And then they hopped on Suicide Season, which saw them cross over to more of a metalcore orientated sound. Still not really doing much, very immature songwriting, really monotonous guitar work. The drum performance was okay, but still it's not enough to redeem the fact that the album was a bit of a mess. And then we came on to the third LP, There Is a Hell. Believe me, I've seen it, There Is a Heaven, Let's Keep It a Secret. Which was a bit of a better refined record. I thought I really enjoyed it. I couldn't imagine myself actually enjoying it, to be honest, because nobody saw the transition that Bring Me the Horizon were going to do from Suicide Season to There Is a Hell. Everyone was expecting more run-of-the-mill metalcore, immature songwriting, that sort of stuff. And then It Never Ends dropped, and it was quite a symphonic song, really, with you know, tiny post-rock influences in there, which was really nice. And you know, Ollie sounded a lot more sincere than he had done on previous releases, and his voice sounded, you know, a bit more refined as well, which was great. And the guitar work was still nothing, you know, uber technical or whatever, but it really added nice textures to the whole of the album. And it ran a lot smoother, you know, there's much more highlights than the last 2 albums. So when the build-up for this album was coming, I was actually quite excited, you know, as I was like, well, what are Bring Me the Horizon going to do now, you know? They've set the foundation, a very good foundation, to go into the next record and maybe develop on that, or maybe try something different. And Sempiternal was the latter of those two. They did try something different. For one, there is a lot more electronic influence on this album, I mean heavy electronics. I mean, you only have to look at the opener, Can You Feel My Heart, which I think is a great song and a great opener. You know, you've got the you know, which is running in the background for the whole song. And the guitars come in, wailing, you know, adding them textures, you know, feeling very, like just a complete piece of work, you know, very, very nice to listen to. And Ollie even incorporates some clean singing in there, which is actually very nice. It's that way for most of the album, you know, there's nothing really on here that is outright, you know, the old metalcore sound they had, apart from the single they released, Antivist, which I thought was a really unnecessary song on this album. It didn't need to be here, it was completely out of place, and I think it was more of a ploy to say to old fans, hey, we've not ditched our sound completely, here's a song to show you that we haven't. And if you listen to the whole album, you'll just think, that shouldn't be on there, you know. their old sound is kind of behind them with this album. You know, other examples like Sleepwalk, a very slow tempoed song, very emotional in places. Ollie sounds great again. And even, you know, even the lyrics on a couple of these songs have gotten better. But for the most part, the album, although I enjoyed a few tracks off here, the album suffers from the flaw that is, you know, I did say that Ollie's lyrics have gotten better on certain songs, but other songs, they're so cliche it almost hurts to listen to at times. You know, dealing with your inner demons, drowning in a sea of sorrow, all those things that you've heard before and, you know, put forward better in such, you know, in a more unique way. Ollie seems to favour quite a pretentious lyrical style on this album just for the sake of it, you know, fitting in with the album's atmosphere. And it's a shame because, you know, if the lyrics were better and they sounded more sincere than they actually were, then, you know, it would have complemented the instrumentation of the electronics, the guitars, the drumming very, you know, much better. But like I say, I got a few tracks off here. I mean, like, you know, Shadow Moses, the single they released, I enjoyed that. I thought it was a good song, you know, a heavy electronical influence, like I said again. You know, very nice choral singing. The guitars on this album, nothing different from what you've heard before from Bring the Horizon, nothing that's going to jump out at you and, you know, think, oh wow, they've really beefed up their instrumentation, because they haven't really. But the album as a whole, it was okay, it was alright, you know, I thought it was decent. I'm feeling probably about I'll say a 5 to a 5.5 out of 10. It was decent. It'll be interesting to see what they do from here, actually. But for now, yeah, that's all I've got to say on that, and I will be back with some more reviews shortly, probably one more today. But yeah, thank you guys for, if you're still watching and keeping in touch, then thank you very much. But yeah, I'll see you later on today or maybe tomorrow. Thank you.